All right, what is up, BachPod squad? The Ryan Jacob Show is back with the BachPod in Paradise, where we are definitely not sponsored by Pure Leaf Tea, and probably never will be. All right, let's get into we got 2 episodes this week, so we get to go over two. We'll start with the first one, basically a continuation of where we left off last week. Demi comes in the house to stir up some shit. What do you think about her entrance?
Yeah, I mean, I know Demi from like Twitter and stuff. I never watched Colton. I didn't watch Colton season, but somebody told me that she's gonna stir some shit up, and I'm waiting for that to happen. She didn't really stir anything up this episode as much. I mean, she got the date card, and she chose Brandon, right?
Brendan, yeah.
Brendan, and yeah, I mean, she seemed normal this episode. I don't know if you think she was not normal.
No, I don't think she did anything crazy. I mean, like there was a potential like possible drama there when she took Brendan like from Natasha, but I mean it obviously didn't really work out. He told her that he was basically keeping his options open, and she like acted like he just broke up with her after a year, and she got all real shitty about it. And that was the end of that. But yeah, she didn't really stir up too much.
Yeah, speaking of him though, like I think she actually kind of dodged a bullet. Because then you got like rumors about him and Piper being a thing, and then Piper comes. So really, I think Demi probably got the better end of that deal, because then Natasha had to really deal with like, oh, is that true? And like, what are you doing? And then like, I think I don't know if this was towards the end of episode 2 or episode 1, but she took grocery store Joe and is like, he hasn't even kissed me yet. I'm like, dude, like everyone's been kissed at least once, I think, in the show, except them. I'm like, that might be a red flag.
That was really weird. Like when she started talking about that was very strange. And then like in their last scene together, like he just like goes to bed and still does it.
Well, I think she says something like, I think you need to go to bed because I want to be alone or something. And I was like, okay, this is your time to like actually like stay and like be there for her and like try to talk things out. But he was just like, okay.
See ya. We'll catch you tomorrow.
I think that was in the end of episode 2, but
it was
just the fact that like that whole kind of, it's not really that, I mean, it's kind of drama, but it's not like drama within the house. It's just drama between those two people. Yeah. And Asha's just not in a great spot. I would not want to be her.
I think he's definitely giving off vibes that he's like holding out for someone.
Yes.
Like whether it be Piper or not, we'll see. But we can get back into that first episode. After the Demi thing kind of went on, we get into all the rumors circulating Victoria P. People start talking about how she has a boyfriend back home, which is nuts. And like they tell James about it. Like, first of all, Victoria messes this guy's name up at least like 170 times, like throughout the episode. And then she gets pissed off when they tell James about her possible boyfriend. And I got to hear your thoughts about that, because you were all over Victoria last week.
Dude, I liked her. I liked her on Peter's. Like, she seemed normal, but like she was psychotic. Like that was weird. And my favorite part of the whole thing is like when James started to like confront her like towards the end of the night. Dude, she got so defensive. James was like the calmest guy in the world. Like that's how I would be in that situation. Just calm and be like, hey, this is what I heard. What are your thoughts? And all she just like, whoa. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable right now.
She's like, I think you need to take a breath. I think we both need to take a breath right now. I was like, he literally just said a sentence. Like, what are you doing? Like, if that doesn't just prove that it's probably true,
right? I
don't know what does.
Yeah, she was caught, and then she went to go talk to Tammy and what's her name? She got sent home.
Kelsey.
Yeah. He goes and talks to Kelsey, those two. And dude, I like Tammy, dude. Tammy's a real, like, she's going to say what's on her mind. It just reminds me of, like, just our friend group. Just, like, we're going to say whatever we want to say and, like, no holds bar. And, like, I like Tammy. After this episode, I really am rooting for Tammy now.
Yeah, dude. But, wow, Victoria is literally insane. Like, brain is not there. Like, she just was – I don't even know. And then she just left. And the best fucking part about it was when she's in the car going home, she's like, well, now I can just go back to what I knew was already there. And it's like, so you had a boyfriend back home. Like, what? We just went through all that for you to leave like that and say that? Oh my God. I lost my shit when I heard her say that in the car.
Yeah, I lost a lot of respect for her. But I hope she's happy, and I mean her decision. I'm worried about James though.
Dude, he's a cool guy. I feel like he's like a legit cool dude.
Dude, I liked him at
Katie season?
Katie, yeah. I liked him in Katie season after like his box theme. Like he just seemed like a cool guy, but now he gotten screwed. Or at least I think he gets screwed because, like I said, this is my first season ever watching this. But the fact that he had to pick Demi, or didn't have to, but he picked Demi when they didn't even have a connection. Now he's just like, now the girls have the roses, and he has no connection with anybody. So he's kind of in that weird spot.
I'm wondering how that is gonna go, like in the end. Yeah. But speaking of the roses, we can get into the rose ceremony. Right before that, though, I want to point out how Serena tried so hard to steal Aaron away at the last minute from Tammy, and it just didn't work at all.
Dude, Aaron was getting a lot of attention towards the last 10 minutes, dude. He had to feel pretty good. But I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like if you're Serena or if you're Kelsey and you haven't, like, you just need to go balls to the wall. Like you just have to try something because like they're in such a weird spot.
Dude, all of their interviews, they were all sounding desperate as hell, like trying to like figure out which dude was going to be loose with his rose. Like who can we talk to that might, I don't know, change their mind last minute right before this thing.
Dude, it's kind of weird because I feel like the first rose ceremony, they could have, like, it seemed like everyone had their own like group of like girl and boy. Like, I don't know if that's what happens like previous seasons, but it just feels like almost everyone instantly felt a connection with somebody. And there was just really no drama until James had an open rose because of whatever her name is. I forget these names already.
Well, dude, and you had Victoria, the other, like the terrible goddess Victoria, tried to get in a little bit of Trey action, and Pajwan just shut that shit down immediately, bro.
Dude, she went ape on her and then made Victoria cry. And
oh my God.
Then she left. That was the story of Goddess Victoria right there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, girls were just out there making last-ditch efforts, but I think the best award for last minute, I'm putting it all out on the line, has got to be Kelsey on the stage of the rose ceremony. Says, "I'm going down." Like,
dude, and I was curious why. I know, I mean, Demi is going to be Demi. Like, she needs to stay because she stirs the drama and stuff. But, like, Kelsey is the one who's helped tell James about her. And I was like, maybe he will give her a rose. But Demi's too important to the show.
Man, and Kelsey really tried too. She really tried to get that last just scrape at it. But it didn't pan out. And so Kelsey, Victoria, both Victorias, and Serena all hit the road. Everybody else got booed up except our boy James. But it didn't last very long because we get into episode 3. And this is my favorite shift of emotion here. We go from the girls at the end of episode 2, like super desperate, like, or the girls that have a man, they're super into their man. They get that security rose. But as soon as we get into the next episode, guys start showing up and all the girls are like, I think the point of being here is to be open. So yeah, that dude just walked in. He looks great. And I think we need to definitely keep our options open.
Dude, you could definitely see a switch of emotions from everybody, the girls and the guys. Because then the guys started getting, heavy chested, like, oh, she's my girl. I'm gonna be pissed that if she goes on this date, especially Aaron, dude. Aaron was just pacing, just like, I hope you don't take. Oh, who's Aaron going after?
Tammy.
Oh yeah, it's Tammy. Oh God, I said I like Tammy. I don't really like Aaron, but anyway, like I was like, oh, I hope she don't go on a date. Like, oh, I've been talking to her. I've invested all this time into her. I'm like, dude, it's only been 1-2 nights max. Like, these guys were just so like defensive.
It's been a week, but that's still not like that long at all. But I agree. Like, these guys were getting so protective, and even funnier than that was when their girl did get picked. They're all like, I mean, I'm not even worried about it. Like, I mean, we talked about it. We said we're going to be open, and that's fine. Like, I'm not worried about it at all. And they were all clearly very worried about it.
Right. And it was like a kind of because when Marissa got chosen, Connor was like really like, oh, I don't care. Like, we talked like exactly what you just said. And then when Serena gets chosen, I mean, Joe kind of been through all this before. I think he was actually pretty cool about it, whereas Connor was just kind of making himself think that everything's okay. But like, we'll get into this later. But like when Riley comes up, I'd be worried.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that right now. Well, let's talk about the first guy that shows up. So Thomas, our boy Thomas shows up, and remember. We did vote Thomas, or I guess I voted Thomas, best looking dude on Katie's season of The Bachelorette. And this dude came in and caught the attention of literally every single girl. Like, every guy was talking about how much they hate him. And it's like, the girls were like, oh my God, he sounds like a horrible person, until he showed up. And they were like, God damn, I don't care what this guy did. I want to go out with him.
Dude, when Thomas was doing his interviews, he kept pointing out that he had to duck, because then every single girl was like, oh, how tall are you? And he's like, I'm 6'6". I'm a big human. Every single girl.
He said it with the same conviction every time.
He knew those girls were going to ask him every single time when he was like, oh, you got to tell me about this big pole right here. I got to keep ducking. And every girl asked him, at least the ones that they showed. And I thought that was so funny. I mean, he had the line perfectly, and I guess it worked.
Man, you know he's tried that before. He's never had to say it like 7 times in one day, though.
He's never, until today, or until that day.
Yeah, man. But, you know, to the girl's point, he is a very good-looking dude, and he is super tall. So, you know, it is what it is. But he ultimately ends up taking Serena out, which put Mopey Joe back into the Mopey Joe mood. I don't know if you saw that he kind of went right back to where he was episode 1, moping around during that date.
Dude, I gotta hand it to Serena though. I've been a big fan of Serena. But she actually, like, when she said yes to Thomas, she actually went to Joe to say, hey, I'm going on this date. Like, she didn't like ask permission, because she doesn't have to ask, but she at least let him know. And they talked like, a minute about it. And then Joe, he was cool about it. But like, I mean, I'd be mopey too. Like, I wouldn't be happy that Serena would go on a date with Thomas, but I wouldn't be mad either. Like, it's just a shitty situation. And it's just a hard situation.
Dude, I feel like the best thing you can do in that situation is just like go about your day. Like, if people are hanging around and doing stuff, go do stuff with people. Like, the last thing I want to do in that situation is sit around and think about it. Like, I'm going to try to get out there. I'm going to go first. I'm going to hit the bar, take like 3-4 shots. And then I'm going to be like, hey guys, let's do something. I'm not going to sit around and think all day.
But you also got to think, like, if you're actually there for love and like want to be engaged, which Serena did tell Thomas, like Thomas asked, oh, what are you here for? And she said, a rock. You got to respect that Joe knows what he wants. And if he doesn't get what he wants, like, I guess he'll just leave. Like, he doesn't waste his time. And I don't want him to make him sound selfish or something like that. But at least he knows, okay, hey, Serena's my girl for now. Like, I'm going to try to make it work. And if Serena picks Thomas, then it's like, okay, why should I even be here? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of a mature way to go about it because you don't want to waste anybody else's time, kind of like what Kelsey was doing, or not Kelsey, Victoria was doing, just wasting people's time. Like, he at least knows, and that's like a mature way. And like, if I was a girl, I'd respect that a lot. Even if I don't go after him, I just respect what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, at his age, dude, he's looking to lock it down, I think, pretty soon.
Yes, and I know we've seen the it's kind of to end the date with Thomas and Serena. Serena kind of just tells him, let's explore options. Like, she didn't go after Thomas. She wasn't feeling Thomas. And Thomas, like, during the date, he was talking a lot about other dudes like Trey and like Aaron. Yeah. And Serena saw right through that. And it's like, that's kind of weird how he was talking about them. And then that like drama goes after that. But yeah, so I mean, Serena and Thomas didn't go, and then she went right back to Joe, and the match was still there.
Fireworks, dude. It's fireworks.
And then it's going to be interesting now, because now what I was trying to get to is, like, we saw the previews of the whole season, and we know that Joe's ex comes on to the show. So now the next test is going to be when she comes, and let's see how he handles it, because I think Serena handled that date extremely well. So it's going to be very interesting. And everyone knows that Serena and Joe are my pick to go all the way, I guess. And I still going to lock that pick in. But that's going to be a huge test.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I don't know how that's going to go, because Joe had a lot to say about how he thought Serena should have handled Thomas's thing, and she pretty much did. And yep. So now it'll be like, all right, let's see if you can put your money where your mouth is, buddy.
Your turn.
That will definitely be fun. I did want to ask a question before we get into our next arrival. Would you rather be somebody that like starts out on the show, like on the beach, or would you want to be somebody that comes in like in like a new edition halfway through or partway through?
Probably a new edition, because one, you get the date card. True. And you get these little interviews. So like if I was doing an interview, I would be like, oh, like who gave you the rose last week? How's your, like, I'd ask about the relationship, because like if somebody says, oh yeah, me and Joe are really cool, like then I'd be like, okay, maybe I wouldn't pursue that. But if it's like, oh, we haven't like Demi and James, like if I was a new guy, I'd probably pick Demi if I, with the interview, and just like, because she hasn't had a really strong connection yet, I'd go for her. I don't know. I think I'd rather get that first date and at least test my luck with the first girl that I think would be a match.
Dude, I think I would do the same thing. Because like you said, I didn't even think about the date card part, but that is a huge benefit. But I was just thinking, like, you could just see how everybody was ready for a fresh face, like just a new person. And being that guy, like, of course we get two absolute studs that come down on this one, but like you could almost be anybody and everybody's just like, oh my God, somebody new to talk to. Thank God. Like, we've been stuck with these other people on this beach for a week.
and like people, like, it seems like everyone has a person that they're really looking for. Because Tejuan really wanted to see Riley, which is our new next arrival. And like she could see how flustered she gets. So like there's actual people that are looking for actual like people. So that's another thing. Like if I was on the show and I had a girl that really wanted to see me, like I'd pick her. But I don't know if that ever happened. But that's an option.
Yeah, so I am not sure who Riley is or what season he's from or anything, but holy shit, that guy is a tank, carved from marble. Like, my God.
Dude, he's got some biceps.
Dude, he's got some everything steps, dude. He is a fucking unit. Like,
he's a lawyer too.
Huh?
He's a lawyer too.
Yeah, dude, like, holy shit. And every girl was like ready to marry this guy immediately, which was hilarious. But he ends up stealing Connor's girl, Marissa. We actually fucked her name up like a lot last week, by the way. But so he takes Connor's girl, Marissa, and man, they had one good heck of a time, to say the least.
Marissa, like, she opened up a lot. Like a lot. Like, she didn't talk about it. Well, I guess they didn't really have a one-on-one with her and Connor, but like, dude, they just had so good energy. Like, it was like they were like, I feel so bad for Connor because like that's his girl and that's who he was talking to. But like, you can't, like, Marissa cannot deny that energy like throughout that whole date, because it was just they were just vibing. It was fun to watch.
Oh, they were definitely vibing all the way to the boom boom room. Our season's first. Ring the boom boom alarm, dude.
Dude, this is backtracking, but when Thomas and Serena were on their date and they were on that water or whatever they gave you a really good crotch shot of Thomas for like 10 seconds. It was so weird. He was like standing up. And literally, it was a crotch shot for, I don't know if you remember, it's like 5 to 10 seconds. And I'm just sitting there looking at the screen. I'm like, dude, they're going to pan off of this shot right now. It was so weird. I was like, what are these guys doing? Like, they didn't proofread their video editing. It was so weird.
Oh, my God.
Do you remember that part?
I don't remember.
Oh my! You must have been doing something, dude. It was literally 5 to 10 seconds. I'm not even exaggerating. It was so weird.
I don't know how I missed that, but I'm gonna definitely go back and watch it because that is fucking hilarious.
it wasn't a shirtless scene. I mean, he was shirtless too because he was on the water buggy or whatever it was. But he was standing up. So I think the point is when he was sitting down, you get like a facial view of like him riding, like this. But dude, he was like standing up, and it was just a crotch shot. Oh man, I wanted to say that during the day.
Somebody's gonna lose their job about that one, probably.
It was so weird.
Oh my God, that's so funny. My stomach hurts from laughing. I did want to note that this is probably from the first episode too, but I think the biggest surprise relationship that I've seen, well, I don't know if it's formed, but it was like a thing, was Karl and Deandra. Like, what the fuck is she doing with him? Like, she needs to get out of that like real fast.
Probably desperate. Like, she needed a rose. And dude, because I think we even talked about this on the last podcast, who Karl would give the rose to.
Yeah, we had no idea.
Yeah, I said it was Victoria just to keep her on the show, but Deandra and him shared a kiss, and it would be interesting to see what happens. What I thought was Riley was going to pick her.
Yeah.
But because even the previews, I honestly thought, I was like, oh man, that's well, I guess I didn't know who Karl's girl was. But I knew it was like a mixed girl, and I was like, oh, maybe it's the girl that Karl gave a rose to, but it was Marissa.
Yeah, Connor. Poor Connor. But it is funny to see like how upset these people get after just like being with somebody for a week. Like, that's like.
Well, because you also got to think like you don't want to go home either. So like if you're invested in this girl for a week and you're not talking to anybody else. If she goes on with Riley, then like who's gonna give Connor the rose?
Yeah, that's true. I guess the sadness probably stems more from the thought of going home and maybe. like then you're just out, like you're out completely, back to Tinder and Bumble, Damn. Right. Yeah. Not a good life to live. But yeah, I mean, I think that kind of covers just about everything in those last 2 episodes, at least the good juicy stuff. And judging by the previews, we've got a lot more to come.
Dude, I hate watching the previews because like
I didn't watch them this time.
Okay, then I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but I think I'm gonna stop watching the previews too, because like I watched the preview and like, oh well, this new guy comes and oh well, this girl just was kissing this guy, so I guess he's gonna pick her for the date. And
that's why
it's so stupid because now I know like the 2 new. Well, I know one new guy in which relationship he wrecks, which will be juicy. It's gonna be a fun one, but
Oh man, yeah, I skipped this. I watched the previews like last week, but then I like you, like I'm tired of getting spoiled shit. So I just this time I just skipped it all. All right, well, I guess that wraps it up for this episode. Things are only gonna get hotter because it'll be later in the summer, but we're excited to see what kind of drama gets stirred up in the next few episodes.
Yep, I'm excited. And next episode, is it going to be 2 episodes next week or just 1?
2 episodes next week, and till the end of August, it's 2 episodes. So just next week, and they don't know if they're going to do 2 episodes in September or not yet.
Okay.
So,
I like 2 episodes. It's like boom, boom.
Yeah, we like a little 2-episode rundown. Let us know if you guys like it, to our 3 fans out there. All right. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching.